Okie doke. Hey, hi, hello. It's 80 fucking degrees at 7 in the morning. So I'm gonna make this fast. Let's look at the 1860s events for today. It's gonna get up to like 110 here in Seattle. Gonna break a record today. It's hell and it's horrible. If you hear fans in the background, that sucks, dude. That sucks. But I'm sure as fuck not turning them off. Okay, let's start at the top. 1863 is the earliest we have an event for, is that right? 1860 is a presidential election. Nope, that's not the earliest one. This is the earliest one. So 1862, here we have the Union War Songs event. The February 1862 edition of the Atlantic Monthly contained, amongst other things, the lyrics to a new song, the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Set to the tune of John Brown's Body, this new song would, over time, become increasingly regarded as a patriotic American classic, one that was emblematic of the Union. In that same year, at Harrison's Landing, Captain John C. Tidball would begin the modern custom of playing the song taps at military funerals, as he was refused permission to fire a 21-gun salute, but wanted to honor his fallen comrades. In a short time, this practice would be adopted by the entire Army and officially made standard practice in 1891. Get some prestige with some more exhaustion. Next up is Enrollment Act in New York City draft riots. The Enrollment Act of 1863 is noteworthy for being the first genuine national conscription law in the United States, requiring the enrollment of every male citizen and immigrant between the ages of 20 and 45, but allowed a 300... I see. The dollar sign doesn't show up here. Okay, well, TIL probably should have figured that out before. We'll just here we go. A $300 commission fee to avoid conscription, the commutation fee of $300, approximately $5,000 in 2020 money, was a source of public resentment embodied by the popular slogan, "Rich man's war, poor man's fight." This resentment would result in rioting, the worst of which were the New York City draft riots. Initially starting on the 13th as a protest against the draft, the demonstration turned into a race riot, with white rioters attacking black people, businesses, and neighborhoods. Union troops arrived on the 14th, but order would not be restored until the 16th, leaving 120 dead and over 2,000 injured. You can either get the 2-year draft law, gain war exhaustion, or lose war exhaustion. That's that. Then, next we have the 1864 presidential election. I opted to use the election art for the 1860s elections, because, I don't know, man, like, the photos are cool and all, but there's something really charming about the actual artwork of the time. And these are supposed to be, like, news article type dealios, so I'll probably go back and forth on it, but for this one, this is what we get. 20th United States presidential election saw a contest between Democrat George McClellan and Republican Abraham Lincoln. Although both candidates advocated for a continuation of the ongoing Civil War and restoration of the Union, McClellan was not in favor of abolition, and the Democrat Party platform called for an immediate ceasefire and negotiated settlement with the Confederacy. Although Lincoln would only win 55% of the popular vote, he would win in every state except for Kentucky, Delaware, and New Jersey. So you can choose the Democrat or National Union, i.e. Republican and Northern Democrat Party. Lincoln. Pretty normal. Both get pro-military, because at this time they're both pretty pro-military. Then we have the assassination of Abraham Lincoln on April 14th, 1865 at Ford's Theater. Got rid of the S. Okay, that's... Did I get rid of the S, or did you get rid of the S? Nope. No, that's me. That's on me. That's a me typo. At Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by stage actor John Wilkes Booth. Unsuccessful attempts by Booth's compatriots would be made on Vice President Andrew Johnson and Secretary of State Seward. On the 15th, after the passing of Lincoln, Johnson would become the 17th President of the United States. Johnson had been chosen as Vice President by Lincoln as a symbol of national unity, as he was the only sitting senator from a Confederate state who did not resign upon his state's, Tennessee, succession, but was now tasked with presiding over the end of the Civil War and the beginning of Reconstruction. Johnson's conservative values would put him at odds with the Republican Congress, eventually resulting in his return to the Democratic Party. Now he belongs to the ages, Edwin M. Stanton. Next up, Memphis Massacre of 1866. From May 1st to May 3rd of 1866, a racial riot broke out in Memphis, Tennessee. The riot began after policeman Officer Stevens accidentally shot himself in the leg while retreating from failing to illegally break up a black street party, placing the blame on black veterans who he had been sent to disperse. This injury, blamed on the veterans, became a rallying cry for police reinforcements and rioting white mobs. Over the next 2 days, 47 people would be killed and 75 would be injured by the white mobs and police. Disgraceful. 1866, Great Fire of Portland, Maine. On the 4th of July of 1866, a great fire broke out in Portland, Maine, left 10,000 homeless and 1,800 buildings destroyed. The fire started on a boathouse, most likely from a firecracker or cigar ash, and then spread to a lumberyard, then to a sugar house, and then to the rest of the city. Fortunately, only 2 people died as a result of the fire. Why is that not applying the thing it should be applying? This is Province 247, yes. And so, Because I'm a fool, that's why. No? Well, I mean, yes, I'm a fool, but this should be working. Province modifier, name, disaster. Odd. Oh, it wasn't highlighted because I went ahead and tested this. There's nothing wrong with the code. I just ran through the events once to make sure everything fired properly. I'm tired. Next up, impeachment of President Andrew Johnson. President Andrew... let's get rid of president so this is all on one line. Just for aesthetics. Impeachment of Andrew Johnson. President Johnson was no friend to Congress. Since his break with the Republican Party in 1866, he continually failed to create workable compromises and vetoed key pieces of legislation, such as the Civil Rights Act of 1866. When Johnson was eventually impeached, it was because he had violated the Tenure of Office Act by removing Secretary of War Edwin Stanton in favor of Major General Lorenzo Thomas. Johnson would avoid conviction by only a single vote. So you can acquit Johnson, conservatives become a little less popular, lose some prestige because this is a bad look, or he can be convicted, which is a worse look, but would hurt conservatives more. Next is 1868 presidential election. What is that? Did I? Yes. That would be a problem. Yeah. That's a small problem. I didn't end that. Oh well. The 21st United States presidential election saw a contest between Democrat Horatio Seymour and Republican Ulysses S. Grant. This election was first held after the end of the American Civil War, and was the first in which African Americans could vote in the reconstructed southern states. The primary issue of the election was the manner in which Reconstruction should be conducted. Seymour's campaign was marked by his running mate Francis Blair Jr. making repeated racist speeches and framing the election in stark racial terms. Grant's campaign... Nope, Alex, that's not grammar. Listen, my brain is, like, melted and burnt out. Grant campaigned on the theme, "Let us have peace." In surprisingly close result, the victorious Grant would secure 52.7% of the popular vote and 214 electoral votes. And that's it. We're done. We're done? No, we're not done. Completion of the Transcontinental Railroad. On May 10th of 1869, North America's first transcontinental railroad would open for operation. The line stretched a total of 1,912 miles and took 6 years of bitter competition to complete. 1,085 miles will be constructed by the Union Pacific Railroad, 690 miles by the Central Pacific Railroad, and 132 miles by the Western Pacific Railroad. This line revolutionized settlement of the American West, making travel and shipping considerably faster, safer, and cheaper. Done. Telegraph announcement of the completion. And now we're back to Battle Hymn of the Republic. Sweet. Yeah, we're done. I'm happy we got the 1860s done. I'm looking forward to moving on to the 70s, 80s, and 90s, getting into the Gilded Age, and I haven't even started looking into it, but I'm thrilled to have the Civil War era done with. Yeah, that's about it. I am just, like, completely dead-brained right now because it's hot as fuck, and it's been hot as fuck for a while. Today's gonna be fun. So, until hopefully later in the week, right? Hopefully later in the week I'll be back with 1870s event design and research stream, and then like a mechanics stream. Hopefully that's all one stream, and then maybe a coding stream. Probably not, because I just can't fucking concentrate if I'm talking coding at the same time. So hopefully, by the end of the week we have the 1870s done. Will I? You'll fucking find out, huh? But until then, I'm gonna say toodaloo, take care, I will see you then, bye-bye.